All right, Sixers get the big win, and that's what they need to do. I guess you can only do so many things when you're having to scoreboard watch, and we will keep you updated throughout the postgame show because that is what we're talking about. Postgame Live is brought to you by Curado Insurance, Amy Fiddle, Jim Lynam, and Mark Jackson, and we're going to be talking about the Celtics and the Magic game because really, Coach, they put themselves in a position because of some of the losses and obviously injuries and things like that where they have to scoreboard watch, but there is a chance if the Celtics win that they'll be hosting that 7-8 game.
Yeah, which would be a big deal. You heard Tyrese Maxey there post-game. He certainly would love to have that home crowd for that game.
Yeah, I mean, Mark, you've been in a situation like this. Do you ever remember watching the scoreboard as much as the Sixers are probably watching it, right? They're in that locker room right now, all pulling up that Celtics game on their phone.
Absolutely, because that determines whether they leaving tonight or they're going to be going back home. So it's very important that you watch that game. And, like, I've been in this situation. You're on a bench, like, after the game, coach take you out, you talking to people in the stands. What's the score? What's the score? Like, I'm quite sure they was doing that, too.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's been this interested in a Celtics result ever. I'm just going to say ever. No one's ever wanted the Celtics to win, certainly here in Philadelphia, more than they want them tonight, because it would be great to have one more game. The good news about that 7-8 game is that the Sixers get 2 bites at the apple. So if you win that game, you're the 7 seed and you'll face the Celtics. If you lose that game, the 7-8 game, you get another chance because then you play the winner of the 9-10 game for a chance to be the 8 seed. So I think that's really important, Coach, when you're thinking about it. Yes, you want to win one and be done with it, but it's nice to have 2 chances.
Yeah, in both home games.
Right.
Yeah, that rather than have to, just the idea of traveling, going to Orlando, it's so much more simplistic. Have a home game, win your home game, wait for the playoff. And
call it a day. And that one, obviously, right now the Celtics are leading. It is still early. There's still plenty of time left in the fourth quarter. I think there's, 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So don't turn it off. I'm just going to tell you about it. You don't need to watch it. You can watch us and then watch on your phone and just check for the updates. I'll give them to you as well. But, Mark Jackson, have you ever rooted for the Celtics in your life?
Not one time ever.
Sure
ever, Amy. Not one single time. But I must admit, I am tonight.
Yeah, I know Coach has, and I'm not even going to bother asking him. There's no way he ever rooted for the Celtics in this one. But, Coach, you heard Tyrese Maxey, and it's something he said after the Pacers game. They're looking to keep the vibes high, and a vibe high thing would be obviously hosting. But I feel like getting this win tonight, taking care of the third quarter was really big. This was a scrappy Bucks team. I mean, obviously, they weren't playing a lot of people, but there's a lot of guys that I thought A.J. Green did a nice job. Cormac Ryan did a nice job. So you're having some players show up. The Sixers needed to answer, and they did.
Yeah, they did, and typically it was Tyrese Maxey who rang the bell. He had, I think, 5 points at the half and went for 16 in the third quarter, made 7 out of 8 field goal attempts. And I thought also, when you get your lead guy, like all of a sudden displaying that kind of energy, scoring points at that clip, believe it or not, it kind of infuses defense in the group. And as a result, they shut down the Bucks at the other end.
Yeah, in the second quarter, the Bucks shot 72%. And, Mark, in the third quarter, the Bucks shot about 25%.
Yeah.
Defensively, they had to do something because the Bucks were getting all kinds of good looks, especially from 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we ratcheted the defense up tremendously, and I think they came in with momentum. We were playing well in the second half, but them rotation guys was deep in the bench that was getting off in the first half. All that came to a halt in the sixth. Said, okay, fellas, they had their fun. Let's kind of put them in their place right now.
Yeah, Sixers went on a 22-4 run in the third quarter to put the game away, really, and then they just kind of cruised from there. The only blemish would be that Kyle Lowry didn't get that 3 at the end. Everybody was clamoring for it as I was sitting courtside for that one. That was a lot of fun. But it was a good game. You want to end on a high note. It's the Bucks team, obviously, Coach, not interested in winning. But the most important thing is the Sixers took care of their business. Now they're having to wait. But can you take something away from this as far as everybody stayed healthy, which is no small feat for this team, of course, and you got to see different rotations, guys kind of get that flow out there.
Yeah, I think it was after the Pacer game that Tyrese Maxey alluded to the fact that winning is a tonic. And they had, lost 3 straight games and then had a nice win at the Pacers and then to win tonight. So you have 2 straight games. You're in that play-in situation, and you might get a bonus out of it with a home game. So I think psychologically they're in a real good spot.
So we do know one thing. The Raptors won handily. No surprise there as they were playing the Nets, a team that is completely disinterested in winning. They won going away. We're still awaiting the result of the Celtics Magic game, but we do know because of that Raptors win that it's going to be the Sixers and the Magic. What we don't know is who's the 7 seed and who's the 8 seed, a.k.a. who's going to be hosting that first play-in game. We will keep you updated on that, but let's check in now with Nick Nurse.
kind of seeing the difference in Tyrese from first half and second half? He was able to get going, obviously, in the third.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit of a difficult game to play, and I don't think we came out with a lot of life and kind of wanted it to be easier than it was going to be. It's always the case in this league, and I just think we came up and he just came out and turned up his work rate and aggressiveness and all that stuff in the second half. Played more like himself. Yeah.
Andre was able to give you guys a big lift, and he's kind of been able to play well for you guys the last couple of games, really. I guess what are you maybe seeing out of him?
Yeah, he's done a good job, no doubt about it, and we've needed him to. So that's been good. Just a little bit of everything. I think the rebounding always is a big one, but a couple good passes, some back cut passes, two of them at least tonight, and some good number of offensive rebounds, getting us some extra possessions. I know he has 6 of them. He might have got 3 of them on his own shot there a couple times, or one time. But he finished, so it doesn't matter. As long as he doesn't leave until it's in the basket. But just pretty good, solid play. And I thought defensively he started getting up. That was the one thing at halftime we weren't doing at all. We weren't up pressure in the fives, and they were wheeling and dealing, handing off to all those 3-point shooters. But he got up, played really aggressive in the second half. That was probably the best thing he did.
Toronto just clinched the 6th seed, so you guys are going to play Orlando in the play-in. Where that happens, we still won't know for a little bit. But based on your season series with the Magic and what you know about that roster, what stands out to you as sort of the challenges of facing them?
Pretty physical team. Looks like they got everybody back now too. I think they're pretty much fully healthy, so that's a very talented team. They haven't hardly been healthy all year. The big wings and aggressive guards. Suggs and Bain are 2 competitive, physical guys back there. Banchero and Wagner at the wings, and they got some decent depth. Black has had a great season when he's been healthy too. So very, very good, very talented team. They've been, one of many teams in the league that hasn't been very healthy this year. So it'll be a really tough game.
That continuity that you were talking about, trying to build a little more of that before the game, do you feel like you took steps in that direction?
Well, I think we found a few things out, but I also think that almost everybody left on a fairly good note, right? Some guys hit some shots and some guys played well, and I think that's important because it wasn't feeling very good there in the first half, so it was good to everybody got some touches and made some plays and guarded a little better and all that stuff. So, yes, it was okay take the win for sure, but it was an okay from that standpoint, yeah.
Another 82 games in the books. I mean, obviously you're not done yet, but when you look back on, I guess, the entirety of the regular season, maybe where do you kind of see the team, played well, needed to improve, where you kind of maybe assess the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think the overall assessment is as choppy as it was again, injury-wise. I'm glad we were able to handle that a lot better. I thought a lot of guys improved and a lot of guys filled in and did really, there was, I think, moments for almost everybody over there. And that was, was really important considering, certain times especially. I think we were missing 4 starters for a good stretch there. And those guys were able to pick off a good, probably a little under 500, but pretty close, and keep things going, which I think was hugely important. So, I'm pretty proud of them for hanging in there and battling through the adversity and all that kind of stuff. I think we got a lot of ceiling to go yet. I think there's a lot, so hopefully we'll get to play a bunch of games and keep improving.
You think about the fact that Adem and Justin, this will be their first postseason experience. As a coach, do you do that more as you're excited for them, or is it more like big pass?
I always view it as everybody needs it. Right, you need it. Let's hope we get into a playoff series, right? Because I really think it's so valuable for everybody. I mean, even the guys that have been in them a little bit needs. VJ obviously needs it. Right? Tyrese needs some more. I think it's invaluable experience, and that's why you really want to get in it and go through it.
After you go through an 82-game. The long season, what is it like to sort of have the mindset flip where it's not a win or go home situation for you guys, but it really is okay, we need to win at least one to get into the series. What does that feel like as a group, and how do you sort of get everyone's mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm excited about it. I think understand the importance of each possession, right, and the intensity of and the physicality and all that stuff's gonna go up, and you better be ready to meet that challenge. And I think that's good. I mean, I think it's getting our awareness kind of heightened a little bit will help us.
For you or the guys that were in the game against the Heat a couple years ago, how does that experience with the format help you going in?
Well, I think there's a couple guys that have been through it, so that always helps. I don't think it hurts, that's for sure. I mean, I think it was a pretty tough game, and that one needed to get into the second half as well. It was a game we had to stay with and keep finding our way, and I'm sure that'll be the same against Orlando.
Thanks, Coach. So you heard Nick Nurse talking about they will face Orlando. We do not know who will be hosting that game. If the Sixers are the 7, they'll host it. If the Magic beat the Celtics right now, that one is in a nail-biter. Coach has been giving Mark and I the updates right now, and we're just like, time is moving very slow on that one. But if the Celtics lose, then that would be the Magic would be the 7th seed, and the Sixers would head in there. As a coach, he's sitting up there. He knows he's going to play the Magic. But, Coach, when you're thinking about it, he has no idea what day he's playing, where he's going. Yeah. How unnerving is that?
Yeah, I was just thinking of it, listening to him speak. If, in fact, they're at the Magic, they're going to play Tuesday, which means they're on a flight midday tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And that would be going through my mind, to be honest with you. Not so much I'd be scheming about how we're going to beat the Magic. I'd like to know what the schedule is, because if it's the probability would be if, in fact, Boston holds on to win, my guess is the game is on Wednesday. So you kind of have a casual light day tomorrow. A lot of guys you wouldn't even want to come to the building. And then you start getting serious and prepping on Tuesday. So the schedule's a big deal right now. That's what I'd really be thinking about.
Yeah, it's a lot to undertake, because while they've played, obviously they play 3 times a year, being Eastern Conference opponents, they have not faced each other, the Sixers and Magic, in 3 months, Mark. Yeah. Sixers do have the season series.
And that's a lot of time in basketball.
That is a lot of time. Listen, 3 months ago, 3 months ago, we were buried under snow. Who am I kidding? We all know where we were here in Philadelphia. But they haven't met since January 9th. Maxey averaging almost 31 points in the 3 games. Embiid and Paul George both played just 1 game of the 3. Magic won 5 straight, entering this one tonight against the Celtics. And the most important note, I think, is the one at the bottom. When they faced each other throughout the year, they've always had 1 or 2 players out, as have the Sixers. But you heard Nick Nurse say it, Mark, the Magic have been one of the most injured teams, which is one of the reasons that they found themselves in this 7-8 game. They're a team that had a lot of upside. You thought they were going to be up there as one of the top 3 teams, but Franz Wagner missed a lot of time. Jalen Suggs missed a lot of times. Anthony Black missed a lot of time, but now they're all back healthy.
Absolutely, all back healthy, and that's a dangerous team. They're a long team. They got Ben Carroll, who's an incredible enforcer-type scorer, who's so hard to guard. But, they struggle. The injuries didn't just hit Sixers people. They hit a lot of teams, and Magic was one of them, because they came with a lot of high expectations, and unfortunately been in the same boat we have this season.
Yeah, this one, as we're watching this game on our phones and just
Coach, Coach, what
are we doing? What are we doing here right now?
Close game, 1 minute.
It is a goal. That's what this man is here. He's just making Mark and I have heart palpitations.
Exactly. My hands itchy.
But, yeah, Jimmy, you were just talking about it. You have no idea whether you're getting on a plane in 24 hours or you're going to be having a light day to prepare. But you do have some history with the Magic. You do have some history in this tournament, so you know at least how it works. And maybe that's a little bit helpful. I think that was one of the questions asked to Nick Nurse at the end. How much, does it benefit the Sixers? They've been in a scenario like this in the 7-8 game before.
Yeah, I think familiarity is a big deal. And I think the fact, you have to be honest, that you have 2 cracks. This is not like Russian roulette. Whether it's Orlando, whether it's a home game or a road game, you go out and you do everything possible to win that first game. But, in the back of your mind, knowing that you have a fallback position.
It just got tied. With 30 seconds to go.
Oh, well.
Jeez.
Woo! We're going to take a quick timeout.
Yeah, we need it.
When we come back, we might know who the Sixers or where the Sixers are playing. We know they play the Magic. When we come back, we might know where they're playing. So that is what we would say. Oh, no, Coach, the dreaded words. But let's hear it one more time for the regular season finale. Yes. Clap your hands, everybody. Sixers finish the regular season 45-37. We'll talk a lot more about this and the play-in scenario and everybody else's night and projections coming up here on Sixers Postgame Live, brought to you by Pure Auto Insurance.